Just briefly introduce our dear judges. All right, so first of all, let us welcome one of the teachers at our school. Robert, would you like to say something nice to these contestants? All right, so let us welcome one of our judges. You're not going to say anything? Oh, okay, cool. All right, so and then we have next judge we have is Irene, who used to be the region president of Toastmaster. All right, so let us welcome our judge Irene. And also the last judge is me. All right, so hope that you have a good time today. So without further ado, let us begin, and good luck. Enjoy.
Okay, hello everyone. I am the host for tonight. My name is Murphy, and thank you, Professor Lester Zhang, for his opening. And before we begin our contest, I would like to explain some rules for you, the contestants. There are some rules that you need to follow. First, before you stand up the stage, there is a number plate. I believe you guys all have it. Please place the plate on the right chest so that the judges can see. And then when you are on the stage, as long as you start to speak, the time will start counting. And each one of the contestants, you have 3 minutes to finish your presentation. And first thing you have to do on stage is that you have to greet to our judges and your audience. And then you have to introduce yourself, your number, and your department that you're from, and the topic of your presentation. And there is a bell that reminds you your presentation is going to end when you have 10 seconds left. And once the 3 minutes is up, you will hear a long bell ring, so that you have to start your presentation. And the evaluation criteria is divided into 3 parts. First, your content accounts for 40%, and your overall performance accounts for 30%. Lastly, the manner of your presentation accounts for 30%. All right? Please remember that. And when you are about to get off the stage, please sit on your seat until the contest ended, because you need to hear other contestants' presentation. And if you have to make an emergency leave, please tell our staff in pink dress your reasons, and then you can leave. And lastly, there is a small reminder is that there is a camera in the middle of the room. So if you need to walk around in the room, please be careful of the camera. All right? And then we will take a short break after contestant number 15. And the break will be 5 minutes. And then please be in the room after the break. Okay? And now I think the contest can start. So let's welcome our first contestant, 法律1B, 周玉生. And here is your mic. Sorry.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kevin, and my contest number is number 1, and my major is law, and I will tell you a story about a little princess. This is Sarah, a girl who lived in India, and she was like a little princess because she had a rich father. And this is Mr. Crow. Mr. Crow was Sarah's father, and he wanted to give Sarah all the best thing in the world. So she brought Sarah to England to study. And this is Miss Minchu. Miss Minchu was the owner of the school which Sarah studied, and she was a woman who thought that money is the most important thing in the world. So she loved Sarah very much because she had a rich father. But on Sarah's 11th birthday party, her father was died of illness, which changed everything. And Miss Minjun also still changed her attitude too. She led Sarah to be a servant because she was not a little princess like before. And this is Mr. Carrollford. Mr. Carroll was Mr. Crew's friend who ran away when Mr. Crew was ill. Although he did that because he was ill at that time, he decided to find Sarah and make up for his guilt. Go through a lot of ups and downs, Mr. Carrollford found that Sarah is Mr. Crew's daughter, and Sarah becomes a little princess like before. My personal reaction about this book, I want to talk about my favorite character. My favorite character is Sarah. Not only she is a heroine in this book, but also her behavior made me respect and admire. First, I think Sarah is a modest girl. Although she has a lot of money, she never proud of this or thinks that her status is higher than other people. Secondly, I think she is a girl who knows to share with other person. Although she is starved at that time, she still shares her food with other servants who are starved. I think this is very difficult to many people to do this. Finally, I think she is a brave and optimistic girl. When her father was died in India, she accepts her destiny and never complains about it. I think this is very, very, very difficult. Based on the above reasons, I think Sarah is my favorite character. Thanks for your listening.
Okay, let's welcome next contestant, number 2, 法律1B 彭宇维。
Contestant number 2. I'm going to talk about Love Among the Haystacks. This book was written by Jennifer Bussett. After reading the book, I thought how dramatic the life is. Geoffrey and Maurice were intimate brothers. However, they got apart just due to love. They had crushed on the same German girl, Paula. Love may be heartbroken and bitter sometimes. If you were Paula, which man would you choose? Geoffrey is strong but stubborn. Maurice is handsome and romantic. If the situation of the story happens to me, absolutely, I prefer Maurice than Geoffrey too. Life is sometimes cruel. We usually try to know someone by his or her appearance at first glance. Then, let's talk about why Geoffrey pushed Maurice. Have you ever felt too jealous to say come? Given rise to hurt somebody you are close to? Geoffrey was just like that. He accidentally pushed Maurice down from the top of the haystack to the ground. Geoffrey's behavior might be unacceptable to many readers. So now, put ourselves in Geoffrey's shoes, please. Maurice's outstanding appearance made him a doomed loser in the one named love. Although Geoffrey did something wrong led to over by his rage, it's still unfair to him. Happily, every cloud has a silver lining. Life is always bright. We must meet somebody mad with us. Lydia, a girl deserted by her husband, understanding the loneliness of being on oneself, her agony could be realized by Geoffrey. They became the only one that couldn't be repaired for each other. The flower belongs to the butterfly, which is attracted to its fragrance. I really recommend this book to those who still searching their love. Thank you for listening.
And let's welcome our contestant number 3, 资工 1A 魏宇龙。
Hello everyone, my name is Dave, and I'm from computer science. Today I will talk the book review. It's about a lottery winner, and the author is Rosemary Border. And this is a story summary, and I want to introduce. And the man smiling is Jason Williams, and he is a thief. And the victim is the Emma, and the Jason Williams steal her bag and the lottery win. And Emma find a lawyer to help. And this is the main character, Emma Carter. The man lie on the ground, and he is a victim because his bag was stolen by Jason Williams. And Sally Cash, she is a Jason Williams lawyer, and Fiona, Jason Williams' ex-wife, and he avoid Jason Williams to become not guilty because Jason Williams hit Fiona many times. And this is a story part. And Emma's bag is stolen by Jason's, the picture in the first. And the winning ticket was taken by Jason. And Jason hold a big party before he is arrested by the police. And Sally Cash found Jason and tell her how to win. Emma find the lawyer try to ask for help. And Jason is sent to the prison because he want to wait until the court. And Jason want to win, so he donate to help children. And the court begin, so both Emma and Jason are having a court. The picture is told about, this is Emma, and that one is Jason. Because they want to fight for the court. And I think this is the best part because the author just right here, and there is an open-minded, and they want all the readers guess what happened in the end. And this is my opinion. I think the author is interesting because he creates an open-minded story, but I think the winner is always lawyer, because the lawyer price is enormous. But I just think Jason Williams is not a good guy, because all the thing he doing is the wrong. And that's all. Thank you.
Let's welcome contestant number 4, 关光一 B 罗祖熙。
Good afternoon. My name is JL. I'm a freshman of tourism, number 4. Today, the book I'm going to introduce to you is The Murder in Nuremberg. I have always liked mystery novels, so when I first saw the title of this book, I was very excited. Let me explain. The book is a locker room mystery which talks about a mother and a daughter who are killed in their room. However, the main point is the windows and door are locked from the inside, and the killer has vanished. the mystery. Where is the killer and who actually is the killer? In this book, the author used the vivid description to make the story more powerful. There are a lot of fantastic images like dark bruises and unusual finger marks that enhance the story and make it really imposing. However, I think the greatest feature is the killer, which is an orangutan instead of a human. So when I read through this chapter, I finally understood. The orange-gray hair and saber neck, everything started to make sense. And the key to solving the case is that Dubin has a deep understanding of human nature. Here is an excerpt from his conversation. Police are making a mistake that many people make. They think that because the crime is so unusual, they can never explain it. But they are wrong. It is more helpful to have an unusual crime because that will make us think harder and ask the right question, and in the end, find the answer. I couldn't agree anymore. Sometimes we should think about our doubts because when thinking rationally, the truth surfaces. This is why I like this book so much, drawing conclusions from reason that's very meaningful and commendable to me. Thanks for listening.
Next contestant is number 5, 气管 EA 李方怡。
Hello everyone, I'm number 5. My name is Alice. Today I'm going to talk about dancing in freezer. These are my contents. First, I will introduce the author. And second, main idea. And the next, experience. This is the author. The author's name is Tim Becker. He is in England and he lives in London. And he is a retired teacher. This is the main character. The character including Ellen, I, then future Linda. Ellen is I's sister. She is a nurse. She envied her brother because her brother very families. And I is a singer in a rock band, and he become famous and rich. Then future is a new friend for I. He is a boss of Japanese companies, and Linda is Dan Future's wife. And Dan Future and Linda, they deserve I and occupies his property. There's a 3 point. Ellen's little brother was born, so his brother changed her life because he envies her brother. Second, when I 18, he began a rock band. While boys, he was famous and rich, and he became very proud, and he asked her sister to make a lot of things. And 3, I's new friend. Dan Future and his wife Linda, they tell I how to create ideas. And after the story, I read 2 things. The negative side is jealousy, and the greatness. The positive side is family value and emotional management. My experience. In this story, I think that everyone's heart is ugly, even the relatives are no exception. I don't think so. We shouldn't try to get those things that don't belong to us. I'm worried about that will happen to me. So I think that people should be kind and not preferable. The story is very complex and interesting. The ending is also very unexpected. I'm seeing the author wants to bring the reader not only literally, and the author hopes the readers can think about human balance and family concepts through stories. It is a novel has many deep meaning of content, but they are writing in very simple and easy to understand words. It is highly recommended for everyone to read. Thanks for your attention.
Next is number 6, 西文一笔简念词。
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Amigo, and I'm number 6, and I'm major in Spanish. Ask yourself, would you still be positive? Keep your faith even in tough situations? Well, today I'm going to share with you what I have learned from a little girl called Sarah. In the following 3 minutes, I will first show you what happened to Sarah and then how she inspired me. In this story, there was a girl named Sarah, and her father was a rich man in India. One day, Sarah's father took her to the elite school in London. The manager, Miss Minchin, was a snobbish woman. In the beginning, Sarah was the most important girl in this school just because her father was a rich man. So, Sarah always wore like a princess, and she's always happy at school with her friends around. However, 3 years later, on Sarah's birthday party, suddenly Miss Minchin told her her father had a green bonnet and he was dead. So, Sarah was too depressed to say any words in a row. After Miss Minchin knew Sarah's father was dead, she was mean to Sarah and made her to do dirty works and to be a servant working for them. Every day, Sarah was hungry and tired, but she never cried just because her father always told her, all the princesses are brave and tough. So, when you are in torment, you must not cry and make yourself strong. Few years later, something happens to Sarah, and it was like magic. Sarah's father's friends was looking for her and wanted to take care of her. So, Sarah became rich again, but she never forgot who helped her and loved her. After reading this book, I learned about that we can judge a person with money and treat someone with love just like Sarah. Last but not least, what I have learned from Sarah is that we have to be more courageous even when we are in tough situations. Try to be more positive in dealing with the problem. No matter what happens to us and something let us give out, never give up. Just like the story told us, you must be strong even in a slum. Thank you for your listening.
Next, contestant number 7, 气管 EA 陈意涵。
Hello everyone, I'm number 7. My name is Ihan Chen. Today, I'm going to talk about Death in the Freezer book review. The book was written by Tim McCary. This is my outline, including main character, main idea, and experience. The first is main character. There are 4 people in main character: Ellen, AI, Dan Future, and Linda. Ellen and AI are sister and brother. Dan and Linda are husband and wife. By the way, AI is a singer in the rock group. Dan is the owner of cryonics company. The next is main idea. The background of the story is due to Ellen jealous of AI because he gets far more love from their parents. A few years later, Ellen and AI grow closer when both parents are dead. By this time, AI is in a rock group. The group finds fans and have their world tower soon. However, relations worsen when AI doesn't invite Ellen on his world tower. Then, Ellen wants to get hold of AI's wealth. When AI comes back from his tower, he has some new friends, Dan and Linda. A few days later, on the day of AI's birthday, Ellen went to his house. She didn't see anything except a freezer. She was shocked because she finds AI's fallen body. At this time, Dan Futures appeared. Dan and Linda explains AI is not dead, just ice in the freezer. Ellen is curious and accuses Dan and Linda of killing AI and stealing his money. So she decides to switch off the freezer. Contains AI's body. Let he really die. She will reasonably inherit his money. Dan and Linda called the police and went to the police station. Ellen is charged with murder, but at the trial, her lawyers argue Ellen couldn't have killed AI because he was already dead. Ellen is delighted because she thinks she will soon be free. But to everyone's shock, there is an evidence that Ellen was trying to kill AI before she turned off the freezer by giving him inherent syringes. The judge is stunned. Ellen is sent to prison and only once again. The story ends here. Final, my experience. When I read this book, what I think most about is human nature. In this world, there are many people who have their own personality. In other words, they are full of people of all kinds around our lives. However, no matter what kinds of personality these people are, we can clearly know the true side of each person. This made me start thinking, when love and money are related, how would I choose? I think this is a topic that I should learn in my life, and I'm constantly learning. And you? Thanks for listening.
Next, contestant number 8, 王冠一 A, 廖玉兴.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Cindy from BIBA 1A. Today, I would like to share some understanding about the Little Princess. Let's talk about some characters. First, Sarah Koo. She is a very nice-hearted girl, a friendly girl. Everyone likes her. And when she enters the new environment, she makes friends very fast. And second, Ralph Koo. Sarah's father, a very rich man. He loves her daughter very much. And Miss Ming, the school's founder, a meaningful woman. She loves the girl whose father is very rich because it is good for her school. And that's one, Mr. Carrisford. He is Ralph's best friend, and I think he is the other highlight of this story. Let's talk some summary. Sarah was born in a very rich family, and when she was 7 years old, her father sent her to the new school in London. And Miss Ming treat Sarah very pleased. But and then her father back to India. And first, Sarah was treated like a princess. But 4 years later, her father died, and her father's friend, Mr. Carrisford, took all of his money, then ran away. Suddenly, Sarah changed from princess to servant during one night. She was very sad and depression. Miss Minxin asked her to do many housework. But Sarah didn't change her mind because she always kept her optimistic and kind manner to everything, to everyone she met. Under some chances, her father's friend, Mr. Carrisford, found her and tell her why he want to see her, and get back all her father's money back to Sarah. In the end of story, Sarah became a little princess again. My personal reaction is, most people in modern life is like Miss Minxin, too snobbish, too meaningful. But we should follow Sarah's mind, be more positive and optimistic to everything we meet. Thank you.
Next, contestant number 9, 西文1B 蔡宗伦。
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Alan from Spanish department, and I'm number 9. Today, I'm going to tell you a story, The Murders in the Rue Morgue. The Murders in the Rue Morgue is a short story by Edgar Allan Poe, first published in Graham's magazine in 1841. This book was highly praised for its creative and new style of storytelling when it was first published. It is also considered one of the first detective stories. What makes this story incredibly interesting is that it is as much as about Poe's detective Dupin and the working of his mind as it's almost about the murders. A murder, now I'm going to tell the story. A murder was committed on the 4th floor. The windows were closed, the door was locked in the inside, and the chimney was too narrow for even a cat to get through. So, how did the murder escape? I think it's a gory, macabre story. It is not nearly as graphic as the scene we read today, but it will still send shivers up to your spine. The most famous part of this work is how readers can never really suspect the real culprit. This is due to the story being as well as written. I think it's worth any mystery fan's attention, and good sampling of the early genre for those interested in murder mysteries. This book is well worth reading as you are kept in suspense until almost the end. I struggled to figure out who was the murderer at the beginning. This kept me engaged in the book and how the main character finally comes to his chilling conclusion. And hope you enjoy the story. Thank you for your watching.
Next, contestant number 10, 西管1A 黄念慈。
Hello everyone, my name is Nancy. My number is number 10. My major is Business Administration. Today the book I want to introduce is The Lottery Winner. This is my outline. The book was written by Rosemary Broder. These are her other representative works. These words are the key words of the books. The main characters include Emma Carter, Jason Whalen, policeman, Jason's wife, and lawyers Colin and Sally. The story crux is that one day after Emma bought shoes and decided to go home, suddenly a man hit her hand. She fell down. He stole her bag and ran away. Then Emma called a policeman to help her, but it's too hard to find a prisoner. This day, both Emma and Jason were watching the television about winning lottery numbers. Then Emma saw the man who hit her and stole her lottery ticket. Then she called the policeman again and told that Jason was the prisoner. After Jason got the $5 million, he held a big party. Suddenly, policeman opened the door and coached Jason to a police station. In a police station, Jason told everything to a policeman, but he still said that the lottery ticket was his, not Emma's. After an hour, Jason's wife came to the police station. Then, he threatened Jason to give her half of $5 million. The good question is that, who was the ultimate winner? Emma, Jason, Jason's wife. These three people called the lawyers to help them. The lawyers, Colin and Sally, will be the ultimate winner in the end because they are too expensive. Finally, it's my conclusion. After reading The Lottery Winner, I think we can learn a lot from this book. It fully shows the grit of human nature, inclusive and various selfish behavior. In the story ends, the people who get the most money are the lawyers. Isn't that very ridiculous? There is no so-called righteous part. Everyone wants to gain without pain. So in my opinion, it's better to live practically and content with whatever your life has offered you. The above is my brief view. Thanks for your listening.
Next, contestant number 11, 法律 EA 蔡瑞荣。
Hello everyone, my name is Clara, number 11. Today I'm going to talk about the book, The Starzer. Before starting the speech, I'm going to tell you why I choose this book. Actually, the reason's kind of simple. Because before reading the whole story, I had been attracted by the title. It contains two of my favorite subjects, the universe and animals. Now they combine as a brand new imaginative world. How exciting is it? Here comes the story. Our leading lady was a 16 years old teenager, and she lived on the planet called just like her. Here comes the funny part. Although she was named after the smallest extended bird species, she had never seen a real one, because in that universe, animals will no longer exist. One day, our poor little girl got some trouble. A man bug, he was crazy for her. Even human birds showed no interest. But the law required she must marry him for a year. She didn't want to, so she ran away. And that's when the human bird met animals. They were living in a plastic spaceship, which controlled by a computer. They were all extremely friendly. Even Hugo, a strong, beautiful gray wolf. However, every human wanted to destroy them just after first sight. It's pretty sad, huh? of animals could come back to their homeland. Hindenburg brought a robot kitten to the children in the galaxy. Turned out, unlike the adults, the kids were getting along very well with the kitten. This appearance gave her a hope. Maybe in 50 years, humans will have another chance to live with animals again. Now, this story is not educational, but also gives us a clear warning. Because look at these pictures. In reality, we can have a harmony, healthy relationship with animals. So if we don't want to be the only successors in the future, we got to protect what we have now. We need to stand out because they need us and we need them. Thank you.
Next is contestant 12, 会计2A 陈静莹。
Hello, my name is Tara, and my major is accounting. My number is 12. Today, I would like to introduce a story to you, which is called Christmas in Prague. In the beginning of the story, Carol is the happiest, and she lived together with her husband Jan and Jan's father Joseph in London. And she was invited to a concert as the happiest at Prague. One day after a rehearsal, she walked on the street by herself, but suddenly she saw a man who is similar with her husband, and she shouted out his name Jan across the street, but the man looked like he didn't know her at all. When Carol ran to the man, the birds crashed into the carol. When Carol woke up, Jan and Joseph had arrived at the hospital. At this moment, the man Pablo, who Carol saw on the street, also came to the hospital to visit her because he witnessed the car accident. When everyone met at the hospital, they were shocked because Jan and Pablo looked like a twin. And then Joseph took out a photography and told the truth. In fact, the woman on the photography is Joseph's wife, who is also Jan and Pablo's mother. Facing this sudden truth, everyone was shocked, and Pablo was angry to Joseph because he thought Joseph abandoned him and his mother. Everyone hoped Joseph told them what happened then. According to Joseph, in a turbulent society in 1957, Joseph and his wife decided to escape separately met at Austria. But unfortunately, Joseph's wife was shot on the road, and Pablo is on her back. He got to know his wife's death until he received a letter from wife's mother, and the mother asked he never come to Prague because he couldn't forgive Joseph. As time went by, until the Christmas in 1995, they still met, and they are happy to their meeting, and Pablo chose to forgive his father. After I read the story, I think this is a moving story. Although they had lost contact for a long time, but eventually they still met, and they chose to forget terrible things and happy to have another family. Thank you, everyone.
Next is contestant number 13, Taiwan 1A 孙婕妤。
Good evening, everyone. I'm number 13. Before the presentation, please allow me to briefly introduce myself. My name is Sophia. I'm studying in the Department of Taiwanese Literature. Today, I want to introduce the story, A Little Princess. A Little Princess. I will divide it into 4 parts. including introduction, protagonist, main plot, and my personal reading experience. First of all, why did I choose this book? In this book, I find many realities in life. The encounter with the protagonist, Sarah, is so real and painful, but she can survive in the midst of adversity. It is difficult, isn't it? For me, this book brings me a lot of inspiration to be a better person and makes me want to change. Next, I will introduce the important characters in book. The main protagonist, Sarah, her school teacher, Miss Michin, her friends Emma Gray and Becky, and her father's friend, Miss Carlsford. Third comes the main plot. Sarah Cree was born in India. Her mother died when she was born, so she was taken care of by her father, who treated her like a princess. She was taken to study to the great delight of Miss Michin, the principal of the school. Finally, I will share my personal thoughts. I like this book very much because I see Sarah as a very strong-willed person. She can overcome all the difficulties by accepting the situations. From her, I learned to be optimistic and never give up. There will be tough challenges I will encounter, and I will be as strong as Sarah. This is the end of my introduction. Thanks for listening.
Next is number 14, 观光一B陈家君and Yun, sorry. Hello, I'm Amber. Number 14. Today I'm going to share you the murders in the Rue Morgue. The Murders in the Rue Morgue is written by Edgar Allan Poe. This story begins in Paris during the spring and summer of 1839. 1839, the narrator meets Dupin when he lives in Paris. Their first meeting was in a small bookshop looking for exactly the same book, and that's how the story begins. One day, they were looking through an evening newspaper. Then they saw the title, Terrible Murders. The article is about an incident that happened in the morning. People were woken by a number of terrible blood-curdling screams. These nightmarish screams came from a lady and her daughter's residence. Police and neighbors rushed to the house, but the door was locked. The room was locked with the key from the inside. They break the door down and saw something incredibly disturbing. After Dupin read all the details, he said nothing about the murders, but he was fascinated about them. He went there a few days later and looked at everything very carefully. He tried to find the answer to the murders. Everybody else said there was no way to find the answer. But Dupin has a different thought process than most other people, and to him, it is an intellectual challenge. Eventually, through deduction and his way of thinking, he finds the murderer. This is no ordinary murderer. This is an animal, an orangutan. For me, the end of the story is totally unexpected. I could never know the murderer is an animal from the beginning of the story. All the evidence seems to lead to nowhere or something supernatural. Finally, the plot of the story becomes evident. Our guilty murderer can only be an animal with incredible strength and climbing abilities. This conclusion is so exciting. And that is why I like this book, because it makes me think of things that Dupin does. And you have to challenge your brain, and that is why Dupin is a hero to me. That's the end of my book review. Thank you. Next is contestant number 15, 中文一 A 张怡婷。
Good evening, judges and everyone. My name is Yiting Zhang. I'm from Chinese department. My number is 15. Today, I will talk about my book review. It's called Death in the Freezer. The author is Tim Vickers. The two main characters are Ellen and Elle. Ellen, she is nurse, she is poor, and she murdered her brother. Elle is Ellen's younger brother. He has the parents' love and a successful career. The book is talk about a girl who is jealous of her brother because he has everything. So she hates him and wants him dead. She decided to kill him slowly and secretly, then she could get all his money. When Ellen was little, all the dolls were boys, and she would hurt them badly. So we can see she had always wanted to hurt his brother, and she has been planning to kill him for a long time. According to the last part of the book, in spirit, I think Ellen is also death in the freezer. When my first time to read the story, it was catch my eyes because I also have younger brother. I think I can realize Ellen's feeling, but after I read the story, I had big shock. I didn't expect that Ellen's stolen drugs was not to help Elle, but to murder him. I used to hate my brother, but I never want him dead. I think being jealous is very dangerous. It can make people crazy and do horrible things. Above all, I think the story will touch anyone who has younger brother or sister. Thanks for listening.
Okay, this is our first half of our contest, and then we are taking a 5 minutes break. And after 5 minutes, please be in this room on time. And one more announcement I need to make because I forgot to mention this earlier. At the end of our contest, there will be a award ceremony, so please don't go away. And there are extra prizes for all the audience sponsored by Cave Bookstore. Okay, thank you. Please come back to this room at 6:45. Thank you.